Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It is 7 o'clock on March 7th. Mayor DeStefano is the chair of the CDA. He's not available this evening. I'll be running this meeting in his stead. I'll also be running 2 subcommittee meetings, so follow the bouncing ball if you can. Would the secretary please call the roll of the CDA?
Joseph DeStefano. Absent Paul Johnson.
Here.
Jean Francois.
Here.
Green.
Here.
Lawyer.
Here.
Massey.
Here.
Gray.
Here.
Rodriguez.
Here.
Tobin.
Here.
Thank you. We're 8 out of 10. We have a quorum. We're still eligible to conduct the business of the city. Before I go into subcommittee, I want to remind you, you're in possession of 4 documents. One's called the financial report. One's called the annual report of Paris and audit. One's labeled the Paris document, and one's labeled report to directors. You can confer with them at your discretion. At this moment, I am going to be acting as the chair of the audit committee. And would the secretary please call the roll?
Johnson.
Here.
Jean Francois.
Here.
Kleiner.
Here.
Here.
Okay, we're 3 out of 4. We're still eligible to conduct the business of the city. The first item on the audit committee meeting is approval of minutes from 1/17/23. I will put the motion on the floor. I think Alderman Jean-Francois has made the second. Thank you very much for that gracious offer. Is there any discussion? All in favor? That would be 3.
Aye.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. There is no old business. Thank you. New business, we have a presentation of the audit. And on behalf of Ms. Liz, we have Ms. Donna Crowley, who may step forward and tell us what you'd like us to know. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm Donna Crowley, audit partner at RBT, and I'll be presenting the Middletown Community Development Agency's 12/31/22 financial statements. To start off, the auditor's report gives a clean opinion, and that is exactly what you want, so that is good. Your net position is down slightly by $7,500 to $86,000 and change. That is due to your project costs going down a little, but this year you only sold 1 property instead of more than 1, so then your net position just decreased slightly. Otherwise, everything looks good. I won't bore you with all of the notes. It does state that you still have 9 properties with about the consistent value of what they were last year. And I will jump to the very end of the financial statement where it says you have no internal control findings or no compliance findings. Another good thing.
Thank you very much for that report. Let the record reflect Mr. Witt has arrived. We're now a committee of 4. As a committee of the whole, go around the table for questions or comments. Ms. Ray?
I'm fine with it.
Mr. Jean-Francois?
Move forward.
Mr. Tobin?
No questions.
Mr. Rodriguez?
No questions.
Mr. Massey? Mr. Witt? Mr. Green? Mr. Kleiner?
Okay.
Very good. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being present this evening.
All right, thank you.
All righty, having presented that, this is an action item. I'll put the motion on the floor. I thank Mr. Kleiner for the second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Oppose or abstain? Motion carries. Now I'll put a motion on the floor to adjourn. Mr. Witt makes the second. Thank you very much. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose or abstain? We're now in adjournment. Thank you very much. You're still following the bouncing ball, right, guys?
Yep.
Okay, we're moving on to the Finance Committee. Would the secretary please call the roll?
Johnson.
Here.
Green.
Here.
Massey.
Here.
Gray.
Here.
Okay, we're present, all 4 of us, we're ready to go. Action item is the approval of the Finance Committee meeting of 2/7/23. I'll put the motion on the floor. Ms. Ray seconds. Thank you so much. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose or abstain? Motion carries. You guys are very amenable. I appreciate your help this evening.
So much.
Old business, none. New business, we have 3 items that are presented for action. Commissioner Bruni, would you care to elaborate?
Good evening, everyone. Like Mr. Vice Chairman noted, that we have 3 action items before you. A resolution for a change order at 220 and a half Linden Avenue, in the amount of $4,768.35. This is for changes to the electrical system. We needed to do some more upgrades to the system that was installed. Also, the resolution to accept the bid from Matthew J. Davies for the rehab of 33 Lafayette in the amount of $288,000. We got 2 bids on that property. The bids came in at E&A Contracting, $306,750, and Matthew J. Davies at $288,000. We're recommending Matthew J. Davies for this job. As you know, 33 Lafayette is a huge property and a huge house. It's 4 bedrooms, two levels. So we're looking forward. It's been gutted, it's been abated. So now it's time to do the rehab on it. And the third item is.
Commissioner, one clarification. It says 101-800 in the resolution?
Oh, we switched out the agenda. We have an updated agenda. It's 288. Sorry.
Apology accepted. Okay. Next.
And then we are looking for a resolution to recommend obtaining the bridge loan from the city of Middletown in the amount of $288,000 plus financing costs for the rehab of 33 Lafayette, so we can move forward to get this project moving and done this year.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, for the sake of clarity, I'll treat them independently. Resolution number 1, the change order for 20.5 Linden. I'll put it on the floor. Mr. Massey seconds. Thank you so much. Any questions or comments?
Maria,
Mr. Tobin? And then Mr. Rodriguez?
what are we hoping to sell this for?
That was my question.
Well, it appraised for 360, so now we got to start the rehab. So we're going to start the rehab and then be able, once we get in and do the rehab, we'll be able to set the selling price, and then Pathstone, who is our partner in this, will qualify the person for we don't qualify, so Pathstone will do that. And then once Pathstone qualifies, we go into contract, then the whole process with the banks, if they are approved for Sunny May, from contract to closing, it takes a little while because of the numerous grants that could be involved. So we have our grant. The state could come in with a grant. The banks could come in with closing costs grants and so. So it's not like a straight deal, like you go in, let's say a cash offer, and you could close like that. So there's a couple things in between. Like now, 149A Wisner, we are in contract, and it's going to the bank for closing. And again, they're going through the process with whatever bank accepted, approved their mortgage, what other grants are involved. So
we're not, at 288, it's not all us, it's every grant.
Bless you.
Right. So what we'll do, 288 is we have some other costs, some soft costs involved, and then we'll set the selling price. So 360 was the appraisal. And then we'll look at between 288 or 300 and 360 where we set our selling price. And then we set our grant, and then if the state comes in with a grant, if the county, sometimes the county comes in with some funds if they have available, and then whatever they get in closing cost grants and all that. And then will be the the first mortgage, and then we hold the second mortgage on like our grant and stuff. So we try to move as fast as possible, but there's the paperwork in between, the banks and everything. So, and we want to have a finished product before, like 149A Wisner, the now in contract, she went through that property several times before she accepted the contract. So, there's a little due diligence on their part too. They got their own inspector to look at the house. They hired their own inspector to go through it and all that. So there is some process, but, yeah.
Mr. Rodriguez, anything else?
The soft cost is not, it's what, like the water bill and,
The soft costs are like appraisal, environmentals, then our taxes
right.
and things like that are added in there to what we owe the city back in taxes.
It's still a great deal because that house is scary looking right now. so-
And it's-
And it beefs up the neighborhood a lot.
And it's a nice piece of property in the backyard. There's a backyard and, nice driveway and everything. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice
I agree.
four-bedroom. Yeah, we had to go through that process too, to get it cleaned out. Then we had some HUD grant, our CDBG program for that property. We were able to get some of those funds in to do the environmental work.
I guess I was just nervous you wouldn't clear it, but as long as, I don't know.
I think we'll be fine.
So the discussion we just had was with respect to 33 Lafayette, right?
Yes.
I just wanted to clarify because the motion on the floor is Linden.
Oh.
That's okay. I'm an
All
equal
right.
opportunity guy. You can ask any questions you want. You just have to sift them and sort them. The motion on the floor is the change order for 220.5 Linden. Are there any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose or abstain? Okay, resolution to the change order for 220.5 Linden passes unanimously among the committee. All right, I'm going to put the second resolution on the floor, which has previously been discussed for the change order, for the bid for 33 Lafayette. I put the motion on the floor. Mr. Green seconds. Thank you very much. Are there any further questions or conversations? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Second motion carries. The third one is the bridge loan for the amount of $288. I'll put the motion on the floor. Ms. Ray, it's back to you. Thanks for the second. I appreciate it. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose or abstain? Motion carries. I'll put a motion on the floor to adjourn. Mr. Massey, thank you very much. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Committee meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. You guys still with me? Okay. Now we're back to the CDA meeting. First action is approval of minutes from 2/7/23. I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Massey motions. I'll take a second. Mr. Green seconds. Thank you very much. Any questions, comments, or corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Ms. Liz, financial report.
Sorry.
Hi, good evening, everyone. In front of you, you have the financial report for February 28, 2023. You have your check balance, checking for your savings account, excuse me. Sounds like my voice is going somewhere. Balance as of January 2023 was $4,446. Oh, thank you. $83. We had a transfer of $26,000. We also had a couple of withdrawals for a total withdrawal of $27,894.43, leaving the balance as of February to $2,552.40. Next, you have your savings accounts balance. Beginning balance was $29,492.02. You have the withdrawals of $26,000 to cover the checks, and that leaves us with a savings balance of $3,492.02. The city's operating debt as of February is $207,853.77. I have also attached a second financial report. It's a profit loss financial statement versus budget year-to-date. As of February, we have zero sales, so you'll see a total income of zero. And then, as you'll see, we have our total expense here is $28,118.78. And this is just a comparison to the budget that we put in for Paris. Does anybody have any questions?
Are there any questions from the committee? Madam Secretary, am I correct? This is informational?
No.
Okay, thank you for that correction. Appreciate it. All righty, I would like to put the motion on the floor as presented to approve the financial report. I need a second. Mr. Massey makes a second. Any discussion, questions, or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The next item on this agenda is the audit presentation, which we just heard under the audit committee about 20 minutes ago. All of us were here, I believe, except perhaps Mr. Witt. So I'm going to put it on the floor to approve it as presented. I'll need a second. Ms. Ray seconds. Once again, are there any questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose or abstain? Motion carries once again for the committee of a whole. Executive Director's Report, Ms. Bruni.
Basically, I just want to thank Leonora and RBT for the audit, and Patty for getting the annual report and Paris report, getting it ready, because this is all due March 31st that we have to submit to the state. I know it's all in your packet, so again, thank you for authorizing us to move forward with the submission. And also, what I discussed earlier regarding the properties, we're getting ready to do the rehab on 33 Lafayette. As I mentioned, 149A is in, Wisner is in contract, so hopefully the bank will move and get this to closing soon. And 220 and a half Linden will be close to finalizing that property, right, Patty, soon? Beginning of May, and then that one is going to be up for sale. We already set the selling price on that, so Pathstone is looking for a buyer right now on 220 and a half Linden.
So the prime rate seems to be moving target. Does that affect us in any way when it's adjusted?
Yeah, it's Sony May, so it's
So we're stable at our end of
Yeah.
that conversation?
Yep.
Okay, great. Are there any questions for Ms. Bruni? Hearing none, you might as well stay put, and we'll talk about bills and communications. What would you like us to know?
We have Times Hill Record, legal ads. Grillo is legal for Wisner. And then, and Linden Avenue. Ayers and Galloway, some supplies, FedEx, some material that we had to send out. That's about it.
All righty, if there's any objection to presenting all of these as one item? Hearing none, I need a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Massey, I need a second. Mr. Tobin, any discussion or clarification? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Now, déjà vu is déjà vu. We have new business, which is very, very old new business. At this point, I will entertain a motion to accept all three of these: 220 and a half Linden, 33 Lafayette, and 33 Lafayette for the bridge loan as one motion. Any objections? Hearing none, Mr. Massey makes a motion, Mr. Kleiner makes a second. I feel like an auctioneer. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose or abstain? Motion carries. I will make a motion to adjourn. Any second, Mr. Jean-Francois, thank you very much. Any discussion? All in favor, any opposed or abstain? Motion
Aye.
carries. Thank you very much.